How does it feel?
It's very light, and I'm hoping it's not breakable, because that's a real problem. Oh, how does it feel to win? It feels amazing. I mean, what I was saying in the first speech, there are just things that I've kind of done here from very early on, a lot of which were actually taught to me. Oh, my voice will carry. Number of things I've done, many of which were taught to me by Pixie, that one of her favorites is you can't do good work without having good fun. So hopefully, team, we're having fun. But there are things like always trying to reach out or respond to people who would like some help or some guidance. I do a lot of chats with young mothers trying to figure out how to balance the work and child care issues, career planning and all that. I always say yes. And when CHR calls and says, can you run up the day after tomorrow to Lake Arrowhead? My kids are grown. It's like, sure, yeah, I'll go do MSAP. I love saying yes, and what is so cool is getting rewarded for it. I guess I never really saw that coming. It was just sort of what I did. It made work really rewarding for me, and it made, I felt a real difference on campus, and I just never thought that this, you don't see those things coming down the pipe all the time. So that's what it really means to me, is what I valued was being valued. It's just awesome. Thanks for asking.
In your introduction, they mentioned the Friday 5. What is that?
It's something that the Bruin Tech group does. They send out 5 things that they think that the IT community would benefit from knowing that week. So if you want to get on the Bruin Tech listserv, please do. And then I stole it, and I now do a Friday 5 for my staff rather than bombard them with emails all through the week. And they tell me, like they tell me otherwise? Yeah. They tell me they're very helpful and nice. Jackie, cut it out. More Friday 5s, Jesus God. So anyway, yeah, so I stole that idea for work. Oh, come on. When I do PDP, there's so many questions. Okay, oh, go ahead, Alex.
I'm not sure how to verbalize it, but I know when you started out, you were working on payroll systems and you were physically doing the work, actually, And then as you gradually moved up in your levels of responsibility, at some point you converted to being a manager and a supervisor where you were not physically doing the work. How do you make that transition where you can keep your hands off the actual keyboard and encourage the staff to do it instead of you?
Do I? Look at Ernesto, Ozzy. Well, first of all, doing that in IT is a lot easier than for many of the rest of you, because the world of IT actually changes quite drastically every 2 years. So once you start to get away with it, you reach a point where you can't help them. Or look over, it's like when they say, you know what, we could do it, I'm like, we could? Technology does that? Gabe, thank you. So you do, you get away from it. There was a time when I was the queen of PCs on this campus. Back in the very early 80s, I ordered for administration every PC, configured it, set it up in my office, and then rolled it on a cart to whoever it was supposed to go to. And if you needed to upgrade, young people, shut up, from a 10 meg hard drive to a 20 meg hard drive, I was your girl. I came out, I knew how to do all that sort of stuff, and one man once looked over my shoulder as I was doing it and said, I love this. Does your father know you can do that? I thought that was awesome. But then things start to change, and so I have this theory that your very first employee is your goldfish of employees, that you will in fact be flushing really, really soon, because you will either overmanage them or undermanage them, and eventually you just go, whoa, let me start over, do over, do over. But it's usually pretty gradual. I can't imagine stepping from no employees to 30 And, you know, I had 4 for a while, and then I had 12 for a while, and it grew slowly. And so as that was growing, and I had more and more issues of the management type to worry about, and more removal from doing the technology, that actually just happened very easily. But if you can still do the work of your employees, my true advice is try not to. I once was talking to a guy who worked for me, and he was telling me about his best friend at AIS and how he had come up with this idea, best friend, we'll call the best friend Bill. And Bill's boss was John. So Bill says to John, I've got this fabulous idea, and John says, not bad, but what we should do is do it like this and add this. And I said to my guy, Michael, I'm so sorry. You bring me ideas, and I just go, yeah, sounds cool, go, run with it, let me know what you need. And he said, and that's why we like you. Sometimes, even if you think you have a better way, the greatest gift you can give is to say, go ahead, let me know, please, as early as possible, that we're having trouble. But go ahead, learn from it. I promise you, UCLA will be here tomorrow, even if they screw it up really big. But they won't, because you'll talk to them and you'll get their ideas and you'll get their input, but you don't have to fix everything and you don't have to have it done your way. There's a million ways to do something, right, Steve? So that was a very important lesson to me, was to just guide them, be a resource, in many ways work for your staff. They're doing their jobs, they know what they're supposed to be doing. Your job is to help them when they hit a wall, either getting the money, the other resources, the technology, getting a really awful person out of their way, whatever that may be, that's your real job. Yes, hi.
Do you feel like that you have had a pretty smooth career, or do you feel like you've had some major mistakes or bumps in the road that you're able to accomplish and still get here?
I have made no mistakes. Oh my God, Steve, my husband is just busted up. Steve and I have been together, it will be 30 years, well, married 30 years Monday, known each other 45 years. He can probably list the bumps, and holy crap. My career's had a lot of ups and downs. There's been some huge disappointments along the way. I once didn't get a promotion that I was positive was mine to get, and was told that it really was more of a man's job. And yet, because of how close I might have been to retirement, I couldn't sue. And I didn't really have great proof other than the person he said it to. But anyway, I call that a bump. It was my fault. My mistake was not being a man. Sorry, it shouldn't be. Let me back up. Let's do that all over. Okay. Yeah, lots and lots of bumps in the road. I remember once complaining about something to a friend of mine, and I was actually talking to Dawn about this. She did an online interview of me last week that was a hoot. And after I was just, boy, could I relive a story. This woman said to me, so, are you going to quit? I was like, oh, I'm not going to quit, I love it here. Well, are you going to grieve, or what are you going to do? And I said, no. And she said, then quit grousing. Just move on. And you realize, yeah, really good advice. Work is just work. If it were so much fun, they'd call it Disneyland and charge you. So, yeah, you know, if you don't mind, I'm basking in the glow, so I'm not going to relive all my. Yeah, I mean, but I will answer that with a very important point. I regret nothing. I have ended up in a place that's just perfect for me. I couldn't be happier. I have zero regrets of spending 35 years of my life at UCLA. I raised my children here, I got married while I was here, I got my MBA while I was here. I have been involved in tons of sports, including being the head of the boosters for men's soccer for years. I have tried to take advantage of everything this university has to offer, and I can honestly say there is not a better place I could have spent 35 years. I think it's great if you're a working mother. It's great if you're a working father. It's great if you're not a parent, but you have other passions in your life. If you want a balanced life, this is a great place to be. And if you're working for someone who doesn't let you have a balanced life, you don't have to leave UCLA, you just have to leave that person.
As I mentioned in the beginning, this award is done jointly with AMG and Campus Human Resources. And so to close, I'd like to bring up Associate Vice Chancellor Lou Levin to give you a few parting comments.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for being here. This is very exciting. I first want to start by thanking AMG. The leadership and the teamwork is just outstanding, and the Excel Award is one of the most exciting and inspiring opportunities we have throughout the year. So I want to thank all of you who've contributed to that. Our nominees were absolutely outstanding this year, as you've already heard. I want to congratulate all of them. And by the way, after Gay and Betty decided to retire, we put a lock on any further retirement actions. So if you're thinking about it, you have to wait until next year. So, my congratulations to Jackie. This is the second time I've heard her first speech, and it was equally outstanding both times. I was starting to get a little nervous when she said she would cover the Jackie Reynolds 8 management principles. But after hearing them, they were just outstanding, Jackie. And we are trying very hard at UCLA to be in line with that philosophy that you expressed. And thank you for inspiring us, not only with all of your work over the years, but thank you for everything you've contributed as a mentor, as a supporter, as an ambassador for staff. We thank you for all of that. So it's my great pleasure and honor to thank all of you for participating in this process, and I hope you'll keep those nominations coming. They really reflect how UCLA feels about our staff. We're so fortunate to have such dedicated, knowledgeable, and skilled employees. Without all of you, as Chancellor Block has often said, this place simply would not run. And we really appreciate those contributions over so many years. So thank you for being here. Many thanks to the AMG board.
We did film the event, and